Hello everyone, it's the old Nefo here. So today we're going to take a look at one of the worst, even calling it a movie just feels wrong. It's called Joshua and the Promised Land, an animated adaptation of the book of Joshua from the Bible, and for some reason it has an anthropomorphic, I think I said that right, cast of characters. Don't ask me why. Our protagonist Joshua looks higher than a Jamaican on 420, and he also makes Ash Ketchum look like Wolverine. It took the director 4 years to make this movie, which, with respect, makes things even worse. Like, fair play to you, mate, for devoting 4 years of your life to this, but is this really the best you could come up with? 4 years to basically come up with a demo. Anyway, let's get into the glory of Joshua and the Promised Land. I genuinely had to check if I'd left the tap on when I first heard that. Wow, that logo is beautiful. I think I'm going to get it on a t-shirt. Wait, is that why the protagonist of this film is a lion? So, if this film was directed by Sean Penn, would the main character be a pen?
The Bible tells the story of a young man named Joshua.
What the fuck is that supposed to be? And why the hell is he wearing a bow tie? I haven't got a clue who this is supposed to be, but hey, let's hear him out.
The Bible tells the story of a young man named Joshua, who was strong and full of courage.
What the hell is going on with his arm? It's like that wacky wavy inflatable arm tube man from Family Guy. I feel sick just watching his body movements. He looks like a chewed up drumstick lollipop.
Hi, Dad.
Pick up your stuff, Joshua.
What stuff? His sword? Also, he says that, like, pick up your stuff, Joshua, we're leaving. Then he just walks into the living room.
Well, if you would just stop spending so much time on that car of yours, I wouldn't get so upset.
Holy shit, did anyone else think he was going to punch her?
Ugh. Honestly, Joshua, will you please get out of the way? I'm trying to fix dinner.
You complain he's in your way, then you leave the kitchen? Sure. Is anyone else getting PS1 nostalgia from this film's graphics yet?
As you can see, Joshua feels kind of lost in the shuffle, and he doesn't know where to turn. That's why I think we should give him a little help.
Wow, you sent TV static in the shape of a flying bear. I'm sure that'll help him out loads.
Hi.
This doesn't seem noncy at all.
This ought to do it.
Did you just throw a bath bomb at his face? Bit harsh for a kid who's being abused by his parents.
Who are you?
Some people call me the best friend, but my real name is Christopher Andrew Eugene Bazioni, at your service.
I can relate, Joshua. That's the face I'm going to pull throughout this movie. So this static geezer tells Joshua he's going to take him on a trip, but Joshua wants to be at home in time for dinner. So the guy responds with this.
Come on. You trust me, don't you?
I mean, he's literally just met you, and probably has trust issues given his supposed cowardice, so no. Imagine this, writing a film for kids where a complete stranger comes into a child's room and forces him to go on a mysterious trip with him. Great advice.
I guess.
You trust the guy who sent me, don't you?
Well, God gave me a shit haircut and a voice deeper than the Grand Canyon, so no, I don't trust God. Ow, that hurt just to look at. Pretty sure his arm is dislocated now. Good start.
Well, hang on.
Takes me back to 2002 when I played pinball on my dad's laptop. I'm not watching this stupid fucking movie. So the static guy takes Joshua back to ancient Egypt, where the slaves are under control by the pharaoh, a strange looking cat with a peppermint hat.
Get me my chariot!
Please? God, manners, dude.
You know, some people just never learn. God could hit them right over the head with a big thick hammer and they still don't get it.
Big dick hammer? I'm not even surprised anymore.
Listen to me. If If you never take my advice again for as long as you live, take my advice on this. When you fight against God, you always lose. Just like that Pharaoh there is about to find out. You don't even have to take my word for it. Come on, I'll show you.
So now the movie is encouraging kids to just give in and be submissive to those superior to them. Great message, movie. Can't say anything wrong with that. So Mr. Static takes Joshua to a wall of fire, and Joshua begs him to let him see it. Joshua then falls, and we see the first evidence of the audio clipping.
Come on!
So Static Guy throws Joshua's presence into the body of Joshua, the Bible character, I think. Again, don't ask me why. Oh, for God's sake. The movie The Ten Commandments, a live-action film from the 1950s, did a better job of showing the waves parting than this.
I'm tired.
Now you know why I didn't take that long walk with you.
It was miles and miles. I want to go home.
I feel so sorry for this kid. He's been dragged on a trip he didn't want to go on, and he hates it so much he wants to go back to his abusive family.
You'll be going home soon enough.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't go home for another 40 years. So the bad guys get consumed by the water, and I really don't care because they've had about as much exposition as the villains from Fateful Findings.
They have all these tents and pots and things, but they left Egypt in such a hurry they didn't have time to bring any food. So they're all really hungry and irritable. It's the middle of the desert, so it's not like they can go find the nearest restaurant.
And it's also hundreds of years before restaurants existed. It's not like if they weren't in the desert, they could just pop to a Wetherspoons or a Mackey's. Now we get to see a lion hunt. Just watch him as he sprints after his prey.
These guys just love to complain. Sure, they had enough food, but they didn't have enough water.
I love how he treats that like it's a first world problem. Like, not having water is a pretty serious problem. They're not like kids at the supermarket having a tantrum because their mum won't buy them an ice cream. They're literally dying. So some villains turn up who I don't know, and the Hebrews prepare to attack them. For some reason Moses tells Joshua to lead them into battle, and he says he'll stand on the hill with his hands in his air to tell people that God is on their side. I mean, again, God is being rather lazy. He couldn't just tag all the Hebrews in an Instagram post saying, "Sending positive vibes your way, XXX. And why holding your arms in the air, Moses? Sounds like you just want to get out of fighting." So Joshua screams a call to arms, and I laugh at it, but it's probably what we would all do in this situation.
Alright, everybody! Let's beat these guys! If God fights with us, who can stand against us?
Satan? Richard Dawkins? Anyway, the battle is absolutely terrible. So bad I can't even make any jokes about it. Let's see how Moses is getting on.
The trick to winning this battle was for Moses to keep his hands up in the air, so they would know God was on their side.
I think Moses telling them would be enough. Maybe that's why I'm an atheist. I haven't seen anyone holding their arms in the air for hours on end. Anyway, long story short, they win the fight. I don't understand the context of the fight, and to be honest, I don't really care either. Anyway, Moses goes to have a quick chat with God. Oh, just hire a cell mixer. It's not hard.
The Lord your God. You shall have no other gods before me.
Sorry, mate. Frank Turner has already taken that spot.
You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything on earth or in heaven.
Too late. Whoever invented peach schnapps is an idol.
You shall not misuse my name.
Oh my God.
Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy.
It's funny because I can't remember what the Sabbath is. Wait, isn't it the band Ozzy Osbourne was in?
6 days you shall labor, and on the 7th day you shall rest. For in 6 days I made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day I rested.
Yeah, and now you're telling Moses to do all the things that you can't be bothered to do. In the words of Morrissey, every day is like Sunday.
Honor your father and mother, so that you may live long in the land I give to you.
Well, I run a YouTube channel where I get about 20 views per upload, and I analyse stupid videos, so I highly doubt I'm bringing honour to my family.
You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery.
Well, I can barely find one person willing to sleep with me, so fuck knows how I can find two.
You shall not steal.
Well, my 5-minute hacks and Howlcast videos both got copyright claims, so I guess it's a bit late for that.
You shall not lie about your neighbour.
Well, I once told my landlord that my flatmates weren't smoking weed when they actually were, so again, I'm fucked.
You shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbour.
One of my housemates has a 24-inch 4K TV. Can you blame me for wanting that? Jesus Christ! It's louder than my dog when she hears the front gate opening. So the Hebrews go up a hill. For some reason there's walruses there, even though they would never survive in the desert. Thankfully Joshua gets to leave the static guy behind for a bit, something I never thought would happen. Joshua goes up another hill with Moses, and Joshua waits there for 40 days after Moses says he's going out to buy some cigarettes. 40 days in the desert may be bad, but I take it over watching this fucking film. Meanwhile, Moses summons a lightsaber to crack a rock. So the two of them return to the camp, and we can hear people singing. All seems well at first, but then Moses memes out and we see some truly glorious animation.
It is not the sound of victory or of defeat that I hear. It is the sound of singing. No! No!
What the fuck is going on? What is this? Oh, fuck you know. Why did he throw those like a hooker in a line out? I'm just expecting Alan Wynne Jones to emerge and grab them out of the air. So Moses breaks down the statue into dust and forces anyone who worshipped it to drink water with the dust in. He begs God to forgive them, like a parent with a loud child in a restaurant apologising to nearby diners.
When he came back down, he had new stone tablets, and his face was radiant with the glory of God.
No mate, the exposure is just set too high.
They made an ark, kind of like a box, of gold to carry the stone tablets.
I mean, Moses was doing a pretty good job carrying them himself. I think 6 pallbearers is a bit overkill. So Joshua is sent to the city of Jericho to check it out, and it's full of the illegitimate children of Hellboy. They then sacrifice a baby and make some of the weirdest noises I've ever heard. Wait, that's it? I think you need to get a bit more perspective of the city. That'd be like going to London and seeing someone get stabbed in Hackney and just assuming the whole city is evil.
Hi, kid.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, kid. I'm not a genius, you know?
Oh, trust me, I know.
But even I can tell something's wrong. What's bugging you?
Moses said God promised the land to our ancestor Abraham, and that we have to scout it out now so we can plan our invasion. But we can't take over the land without getting rid of the people who are already here.
That, right there, is the worst piece of filmmaking I've ever seen. Only his mouth moving while the rest of his body is frozen solid, you can barely hear what he's fucking saying, and it's all just fucking terrible. Oh Christ, someone just fucking shoot me now, I fucking hate this stupid fucking movie!
Yeah,
What did you see?
they killed a baby.
He sounds so disappointed. Like he's talking about the murder of an innocent child as if it was a fight in a kebab shop. So Joshua returns to the camp and informs Moses that the people of Jericho are evil. Joshua and Moses feel that they can take the land because God is with them, but the Hebrews begin to lose patience.
If only we had died in Egypt!
You and me both, pal.
Or in this desert.
Why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us die by the sword?
Our wives and children will be taken as plunder!
We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt!
The land we explored is very good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will give it to us.
Why are they booing? It's the Old Testament, not a pantomime. So Karen demands that they start stoning Joshua and Moses, and they do, whilst continuing booing as if they're football fans when their team is 4-0 down at half-time.
Please go to your tents. I will ask God for guidance.
Moses, could you possibly speak a little quieter? You're speaking so loudly it's making my eardrums hurt.
We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt!
That's the second time you've said that, Karen. Is we should choose a leader and go back to Egypt, the Old Testament equivalent of can I speak to the manager? So God assembles the form of a candy floss and surrounds the camp, and then speaks to Moses.
I have forgiven them as you have asked. Nevertheless, as surely as I live, none will ever enter the land except Caleb and Joshua.
How are you enforcing that, God? Like, will you have 2 bouncers outside of Jericho who won't let people in other than Joshua and Caleb unless they flash their tits?
Then one day Moses disobeyed God. It was a small thing, really. He was angry and he hit this rock with his staff twice. God had told him to call forth water from the rock with his voice, not to hit it with his staff. So even Moses is condemned to die in the desert.
So, a guy who spent 40 years serving you unfailingly will die in agony in the desert because he got a bit of tech rage at a rock. Please tell me why I should be worshipping a god who is this much of a dick.
Moses, my faithful servant, the end of your long years in the desert is at hand. Go now and prepare yourself, for you must climb Mount Nebo and look once upon the land which you will never enter.
So his years are nearly at an end because he can look at a place he's not allowed to. That would be like me saying to a poverty-stricken family, your years of hunger are over, for you must go to Tesco and gaze upon the foods that you can't afford. That's it? That's what you trekked through a desert for 40 years in an attempt to enter? Fuck me, I'd rather trek to Dagenham barefooted. So Joshua and Moses share an emotional goodbye, and Joshua leads the people to Jericho. The purple narrator then enters the plot, I think, and turns into an overexposed version of the static guy. He sends a message from God saying that where they are standing is holy. I'm pretty sure they already knew that. You couldn't just send them an email. The army approaches the promised land and the Hellboys are alerted. They sound the alarms and raise their defences, and several giant transparent bears with no legs holding Thor's hammer arrive. Again, just don't ask me why, just tolerate it and continue. So the army marches around the city for, I think, 6 days or something, which the Hellboys find hilarious, and then showcase the most atrocious form of sound mixing you will ever see.
So much for that fearsome god of theirs!
Now, what you are going to see is ridiculous. The giant bears materialise again and start beating the shit out of the cities with their giant hammers. Just how it was written in the Bible, I'm sure. Anyway, see this bollocks for yourself. A fiery head then emerges from the rubble, but more on that later. Joshua returns home, and the static guy tells him that the dream was just a taste of what he could have had in life. Even though 40 years in the desert, eating quails and being yes man to a person in the sky who doesn't exist isn't exactly my idea of fun.
Anyway, you're late for dinner, which was not my fault.
Well, it is your fault. Plus you promised him. I don't think God would take kindly to a broken promise.
Will you come back?
Ah, you don't need me.
I agree. Now fuck off, you static piece of shit. The static guy and Joshua share an awkward hug before he disappears for good. And out of nowhere, the fiery head re-emerges and comes to Joshua. I've not got the slightest clue who the fuck this is, but whatever. Anyway, rather than writing it to show Joshua's getting courage by slaying the beast, the fire monster flies into a wall and dies. Riveting. Joshua goes downstairs and his parents are still arguing.
I'm sick of this. First it's the car, now it's dinner.
Wine.
This guy definitely drinks Stella. So Joshua sits down and both his parents apologise and are nice to him. Joshua then roars, which I guess means he's brave now.
And they lived happily ever after. Okay, maybe not all the time.
What? All of that? 40 years in the desert, fighting several bloody battles, attacking the world's oldest city, just so his life can be a tiny bit better at home? What a fucking waste of my life. I could have just had a nap and I'd have been more productive than watching this.
But they were certainly better off, especially Joshua. Just goes to show you what a little courage can do, with God's blessing, of course. Have a good one.
So he signs off by saying that it shows you what a bit of courage can do. But he didn't do anything. He sat in a chair. Fuck me, he's got balls of steel, that one. When it's time for my dinner, I just sit on the floor because I'm too nervous. I guess if I sat on a chair, everyone would be nice to me. This is one of the worst things ever created. It's boring, it makes no sense, and for 4 years of animation, fuck me. It's like he was doing an animation course at uni and left it to the last minute, doing an all-nighter with 4 cans of Monster Energy. And the movie thinks it's teaching us the importance of courage, yet it's telling us to always obey God, so it's also encouraging fear. And having the bravery to make this movie was a pretty stupid idea. So, ironically, this film perfectly advertises the negative side of confidence. Thank you, Jim Lyne, for asserting my atheism. I'm off for a very heavy drink while I bleach my eyes, and I hope that I kill the brain cells that contain memories of this movie. Cheery fucking oh.
No! No!